Neighbors, if you visit Korea, I'm sure you're gonna hit a Korean barbecue spot. One of the most delicious cuts you'll find on the menu is Yangnyeom Dwaeji Galbi. That's marinated pork rib meat. It's one of my favorite cuts because it's delicious, but cheap. Since it's cheap, it makes it taste even more delicious. You guys know what I'm talking about? So the name of this again was Yangnyeom Dwaeji Galbi, and Galbi means ribs. But a lot of restaurants also use moksal, which is pork collar. And I'm gonna use that cut today. Why? Because it's a lot easier to find than finding like premium cut ribs, which have enough meat that you can butterfly out. So use either, and let's get hungry. The pork collar in Korean, I'll just show you the supermarket label. It's called 목심 or moksal. $10 for a 2-person portion. I'm gonna make around 1 kilo's worth, which is around 2 pounds, but you can go up to 1.5, which is a little bit over 3 pounds with the amount of marinade we're gonna make. And again, if you wanna use pork ribs, that's fine. You just wanna butterfly the meat on top of the ribs and fold it open so it looks like this. And the important thing here is we do want a little bit of width. This is about 1.5 centimeters, or the length of your thumbnail here. This marinade is going to be delicious, and we want it to go in to each part of the meat. We're not going to go in all the way, just go in about 1/3 and then make a little groove. All right, you see? Nice. We'll flip it upside down. Again, just don't cut through the meat. We'll repeat for all the other pieces. If there's some cuts with a lot of fat on the perimeter, go ahead and trim that off. Now let's build our yangnyeom, which means marinade. First layer is going to be a sweetness, and we're going to build that through natural fruit, some onion. Let's start with half an onion. When you grind this up and then you put it to heat later, it turns sweet. Little chops so it blends easier. Straight into the blender. Korean pear. This thing is packed with liquid, and it's the traditional thing that we use when we make any sort of Korean barbecue marinade. We only need half, and then we'll peel the top. Take out the seed part because that part is bitter. Don't want that in the sauce. Chop this again. In Korean, this is called pe. If finding pe is hard, just use half of a large apple. Or substitution number 2, use a western pear, but since these pe is pretty big, use 1 whole western pear. And then a fresh piece of ginger. This one is actually pretty big. So use 2 normal sized ginger, about half the size of your palm. Wash so that there's no dirt. It's fine with the skin on. Alright, then of course it wouldn't be a future neighbor recipe without the forearm length piece of spring onion. I want 2 forearm length pieces, 1 the white part and then 2 the green. And this part, it makes that mixture turn green. It looks nice. You'll see what I mean. Quick chops. All of our aromatics are in, and then we're gonna add 3/4 cup of water. This water is essential because we're doing home cooking, and most of the times we're gonna pan fry our marinated pork. And if you don't have this water and the marinade is not a little bit watery, it'll burn 100% of the time. We'll add that in, and let's make our little shake. All right, a nice healthy shake to start the day. All right, let's continue, boys. Let's do 3/4 cup of soy sauce. I'm sorry, green. You're gonna have to mix in. Then we're gonna add equal amounts of brown sugar. Here I recommend brown sugar so it doesn't get too sweet. Then 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. I'm trying to make this bowl look as ugly as it can. That way when we mix it later and then you taste it, you can see how sometimes it's not all about appearance. Then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of minced garlic and 2. Then we're gonna grate a lot of black pepper, around half a tablespoon. This is gyoja. In Korean, that means mustard. You'll find this at Korean markets. Actually, it's called yeonggyoja to be very specific. And we use it because it's a milder version of like wasabi. Put about half a tablespoon. And this just adds a little something that when you taste it, you're like, what is this? This is amazing. I'm injecting that flavor right now. Then we'll add 1 tablespoon of water. Hot water, and then you can just mix that up. I haven't tried it with wasabi, but I think it should be okay. I would add a little bit less, so if we did half a tablespoon here, I would just do a teaspoon of wasabi, and then likewise 1 tablespoon of water, mix it up. Now, if you don't have either, no problemo. You can just skip this. It'll still taste phenomenal. This looks pretty wicked. We're gonna give this a quick mix before we add our 3rd key ingredient that all the restaurants in Korea and that you've been drinking all your life. I'll show you soon. Wow, give it a mix. And that ingredient I was talking to you about, this is that special drink that polar bears drink during Christmas. That's right, a Coca-Cola. This is the first time actually in Korea I'm having a 350 milliliters of Coca-Cola. This is like the American size. In Korean, if you go to the convenience mart, the cans are always half the size. It's like skinny. I'm gonna just take a little sip, see if it tastes any different. Of course it wouldn't. Who am I joking? So if you're following our recipes in Korea, you're gonna probably need to grab 2 cans, 350 milliliters worth, and put it into our marinade. Now you may think this is strange, but Coca-Cola does a phenomenal job of tenderizing meat. And I would say more than 80, if not 90% of all of those Korean barbecue houses that do Yangnyeom Galbi, they're using Coca-Cola in the back. It's delicious. But Daniel, isn't this too unhealthy? No, silly. You're not gonna drink the marinade. We're just tenderizing our meat. Don't stir it around too much and lose all the carbonation. And then take a little bit of the marinade, and I want you to give a little taste. Oh my gosh. Then you'll realize why we're the best. We put our meat pieces in. See, the meat is thick. We need that Coca-Cola to help tenderize. Haven't you seen those videos of what happens if you put something in cola, like your tooth? It'll disintegrate in 2 seconds. And as you can see, there's a lot of space in this bowl. So again, if you want to do more, go up to 3 pounds or 1.5, 1.8 kilos of meat. That's fine. Make a lot. And then give some to your relatives, your friends, and they can do their own barbecue in their homes. What a nice gift. Cover this with saran wrap, and we'll place this in the refrigerator for a minimum of 12 hours. You can also do overnight and eat it the next day. It's 24 hours later. I got a new shirt on, did a little shower. You know, I was a little bit tempted. I started making this recipe around 1:30 p.m. And 12 hours later would imply that I'm eating 돼지 갈비 at 1:30 in the morning. If you eat 돼지 갈비 at 1:30 in the morning, you're gonna turn into a 돼지. So realistically speaking, I think you should wait 24 hours later. This is 24-hour marinated 돼지 갈비. Let's take a look. Never look into a Korean man's refrigerator. Just kidding. Neighbors, I'm so excited. If I dream, I would have dreamed about this, but lately, I have no dreams. When I close my eyes at night, it's blank. It's just dark. I guess it's a good thing. Let's look at our 24-hour marinated 갈비 돼지. 돼지 갈비. 돼지 목살. Whatever. Woo! Oh my gosh. And you hear that? The rice is ready. All right, guys, and then take a look. You see those grooves that we made earlier? Wow. You see our meat has now turned brown and it's had all this time. I think it's gonna be very tender. Ooh, let's get some gas in. Our Korean barbecue grill. This is just perfect recipe for that. I'm gonna put a little paper cup to catch the grease pee-pee. Feel free to use a non-stick frying pan. We put in that water. No worries. I wanna beat the table like a drum. Doom, 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 doom. I'm excited. Beautiful. Woo! Put another piece back here. Wow, beautiful. Put this on. Beautiful. Guys, now we'll give them a flip. Woo! Beautiful, beautiful. Look at the color on that. Oh my goodness. And you see, we put water in the marinade, so it's not burning. This is a nice sear. If we put it without the water, the marinade would turn sticky and it'll burn even before the meat is done finished. After most of the water starts to dissipate, you can reduce the heat to about a medium-low. Oh, wee. Ooh.
What's that smell? It smells amazing.
Take a look at this. Does this not look better than the restaurant?
I thought you just opened the barbecue restaurant.
Just like at Korean barbecue, you can cut it yourself. Watch how soft it is. Oh my goodness.
Just like that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. And you can chop it into smaller pieces. And guys, it's cutting like butter. Why? Because of the Coca-Cola. Wow.
Is this gonna be our lunch today?
That's right. I've been dreaming about this. Actually, no dreams.
I can't concentrate on my work because of the smell.
It just attracts you into the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
All right, neighbors, and that's it right there. Can I show you a piece, guys?
Yes, please.
This is perfect 돼지 갈비. All we need is some fresh rice.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta stop saying that. And seriously, when you have great meat like this, you don't even need no Korean barbecue sauce on the side.
Don't drop it.
1, 2, 3. This is better than any restaurant we've been to. Hands down, it's ultra tender. The marinade with the ginger, the sweetness of the Coca-Cola and the pear. This is a must make, my neighbors. If you can't visit Korea right now, Make this at home and you're bringing Korea to your kitchen. Can I get an amen?
Amen.